Welcome to Buttonwillow Raceway. We're out here testing the new Model 3 performance cars, and we are doing some R&D. We're learning, we're testing different setups, and one of the setups that we want to test is the stock setup versus a UP setup. Now, for the first time, Tesla is putting a staggered wheel entire setup on the Model 3, and so we want to test that against a staggered UP setup. I'll take the first lap, and I'll get a baseline on the stock wheels. Then Craig's going to do the same thing. Then we're going to swap the wheels out to the UP setup, a UP03 and a Michelin Pilot 4S here. Have another go at it, and then we're going to compare and contrast our notes at the end.
Right.
We're going to try to optimize for PSIs and temperatures. It's like 106 degrees out here today, so it's blistering.
To me, what I think is going to be an interesting case study is that we have somebody that is a track day enthusiast and then a development driver, and we want to compare the data there and see what happens. So this is going to be interesting.
Should be a good test. Ready?
Let's get after it.
All right, let's do it.
Let's go. Brendan is off to the races. Good. A lot of attitude of the car. He's definitely pushing it. Okay, I want to go out. Okay. Here we are in the black Model 3 Performance, the OE staggered setup, the P Zeros. There are some components on here, some suspension components from Unplugged, but we are not changing anything except for the staggered setup. Let's get on this. These tires, get some feedback in them, loosen the back. Save the grip a little bit. Come on, stay compliant. Turn, exit, brake. Feels pretty good. Don't feel hill. Oh, it's a tricky little section. Oh, not loud. Okay. Go, push it. What I'm feeling, obviously, there's a lot of this is loss of grip, right? And that's tire tread wear is obviously a little high on these P Zeros, but also a little bit of lack of tire wall support, I want to say. So you can't really run the pressures too low, but not too bad of a run. I think we pushed it pretty hard.
All right, so I ran a modest 2:07 flat, and Craig ran a 2 minutes flat. That was on the street tires. So again, this is the Pirelli P Zero that Tesla co-developed with Pirelli for this car specifically. Now we're going to throw on the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S. Again, this is a 275. We're jumping to a 285 and increasing the width of the wheel by half. So this is a 10-inch wheel This is a 10.5-inch wheel. So you can kind of see you're getting just about 10 millimeters there of additional track width. We also have a little bit more of a sticky compound 20-inch UPO3s, and we're also going to get the benefits of a stronger forged wheel, but also a lighter forged wheel. And so let's get these on, and then we'll head back out.
So we have the 265, 285 in the back, staggered as usual from the OEs. The OEs are staggered, obviously. Definitely added a little more grip with these PS4s. In my experience, these PS4s have a lot more grip than the P Zeros. No doubt, in my mind, is going to improve. Ooh, that looks good. That looks good. That's how the car should look. All right, so with the OE staggered setup, I pulled a 2 minutes, 0.7 seconds. I'm thinking we're gonna be in 56, 57 range. At least 3 seconds better. That's what I'm guessing. So that's my theoretical. We'll see how it goes.
So one thing we haven't talked about this car is actually, it's not a completely stock car. Obviously it is lowered, right? So we have, not only are we doing this before and after between the stock wheel entire setup to the Michelin UPO3 setup, but this car also already had our dual rate lowering springs. It's the low height, so it's a 2-inch drop, kind of at all 4 corners. This car also has our sway bars. Oh, and this has all of the suspension links. That's right. And so this has the front upper control arms, the front lower arms with spherical bushings. It's got the rear trailing arms, traction arms, the tow arms, the camber arms, and they're all billet aluminum. They all have spherical bushings. And so the main purpose of those is to give us the ability to dial in a precise alignment. Tow at front and rear, as well as camber front and rear. And so we've set this one up to -2.5 degrees in the front, -1.5 in the rear. Some minor tow in the rear, minor tow out in the front. Gives us a little bit of stability with some initial turn in. So new wheel and tire setups on here. So let's get back on the track and do another lap.
We've been talking about the unplugged cars. Not many people know about the info of track number 2, they call it at Buttonwillow. And that was where you saw the 16 superchargers, which is incredible. There's very few tracks that are supporting that currently. I think Laguna Seca has one, Thunderhill has one now. So they're starting to pop up, but what's great about this is a brand new track from the ground up. Hasn't even been driven yet, no events or anything. The fact that you have supercharging right in the pits allows you to do a full supercharge and also let the car cool down. So I think that that's a game changer. I think he's gonna pick up like 4.5, 5 seconds, I feel like. It's really confidence inspiring to have a nice grippy tire, more contact patch, lighter wheel, which improves rotational mass and also unsprung weight. So there's so many different benefits to this UPO3 wheel and tire combination. So it's gonna be sweet. All right, buddy. Well, you have the new staggered setup UPO3s with Michelin PS4s. Have fun, bud. Enjoy it. A lot of attitude out of the car
coming into bus stop. He's pushing. Exiting bus stop right here. Crucial section, very clean. Last turn, coming in hot. Let's see how it goes. Woo! Pushing. Yeah, buddy.
It's your track, Craig. Good to go.
We are now off of the OEM staggered setup. Installed the staggered UPO3 Michelin for us. Brendan already went for his run. Now it's my turn. All right, here comes that flyer. There is no doubt a lot more control in the vehicle.
It is hot.
It is hot,
All right,
dude.
we're under the shade here because it's so hot. We have the Model 3 Performance charging right there that we just did back-to-back laps of stock wheel setup compared to our UPO3 Michelin tire setup. I'm gonna start by saying, I'll give my feedback and then you give your pro feedback.
I'll try.
Development
Yeah,
feedback.
I like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm going to
We'll
start by
just play.
saying on the stock car, felt very well balanced. However, there was not a lot of, it was a little jittery. It was a little jittery, it felt a little loose. When I mashed on the brakes, I would get some shuddering, a bit of sliding across the track from one side to the other, so I wasn't feeling like I was getting a lot of grip. And I ran a 207 flat. It didn't give me the confidence that you want when you're out here trying to capture lap times and have fun. But it's also a great opportunity to learn how the car feels in its most raw state, right? You don't have this tire that's covering up your mistakes.
I had the same type of feels as what you did. Of course, Tesla, I think, picked a great tire for an all-around tire to do, you know, street activities, spirited driving in canyons.
It's also optimized for range, probably.
Optimized for range, you know, like they had to take all that into account for this vehicle, right? Heavy load braking, I had to brake a lot earlier than I normally do because I knew that it just didn't have the grip to hold on and then get my initial turn in, right? So it wasn't as confidence inspiring to brake where I normally would. With that said, I did 2 minutes flat and some change.
We then ran once we put the UPO3s on
Yeah.
with the Michelin Pilot Sport 4S tires. And to me, it was night and day. I felt just immediately like I have confidence again. The braking, I can mash the brakes really hard, and there was no shuddering, there was no skipping, there was no loss of grip. It stopped, right? Like it was doing what it's supposed to do. We'll say, like, I could feel the rear end much more planted with this setup than the stock setup, specifically the rear end. I was able to take off 3.5 seconds, more than 3.5 seconds. I ran a 2:03.4, and so I took off 3.5 seconds, and that was the result of just confidence and that added grip and a better feeling.
More heat-soaked vehicle.
Probably more heat-soaked, yeah.
Hotter track surface, all around, everything hotter, and you still improve that much. When the tire becomes grippy, then you start feeling the other things in the vehicle. The suspension working, the brakes, and all of these things, and then you become a little more confident in that stuff, which is so important. So now you're just engaging with the whole vehicle as one. And that's exactly what I felt. As soon as I started doing the turning, warming up the tires and stuff, I go, oh, there it is. You know, it's that my heart starts pounding. It's like, let's go, buddy.
Yeah.
This is good. Braking, I can brake later. I can enter the turn quicker and start rotating and get that grip back right at the apex as I'm exiting. The wheel, in terms of it being lighter, what that does is improve rotational mass and unsprung weight.
Yep.
So that improves the vehicle all around. So what I did a 2 flat, and then I went to 158. So we sub
158.
we sub 2.
Okay.
My theoretical with this, if it was all optimized and we had a good track temperature, track surface, everything, I think I would be pushing 156.
Yeah.
Like I confidently can say that I could push another 2 seconds out of that.
Right,
time.
And that wasn't the goal today. The goal wasn't to set records or set times. We did that for fun. We did that for some objective data, but it was much more about focusing on the feel of the car. It was a better performing tire than I even expected because I've never driven a 4S on a track. It's got great tread wear life for a performance tire. I think it's all the performance you need for a street tire. And the UPO3, as we know, it's like an indestructible racing wheel that we've been utilizing for years, and it's lightweight, super strong, and looks really good on that car.
It does look good. You keep looking back. It's one of those things where you start walking away from your car and you go,
yeah, you just look back.
Yes.
It was interesting to get both perspectives from from two different style drivers and different approaches.
No doubt. And I think, to all the viewers watching right now, I think it's important, if you liked something like this, certainly like and subscribe, but also comment below and let us know if you want to see more of this going on. I certainly love it. I think
it's fun.
Really
It
cool.
makes it fun. Follow along for more content.
Yeah.
All right, man.
Rad, bro.
Fun.
Good driving. Here we go.